Psych Wars.
Well, okay, we're recording now. We're recording now. Alright, so what's up, everybody? This is Psych Ward episode 3, the long-awaited one that's been delayed. Today I have with me a good friend of mine, Alexander Parker. Alex, say hello.
Hey, what's up?
And I have with another good friend of mine, Christian Rush. And yes, the name fits him.
Oh yeah, baby. Yep, sure does.
Alright, so we've already been talking about a lot of stuff, so where we leave off?
I can't even remember. We were talking about how he just said the Psych Wars Battle of the Brains.
Oh yeah,
might be your upcoming feature after your podcast gets famous.
Yeah, one day when we're gonna get famous and we're gonna have intellectual debates and call it the Battle of the Brains.
We were talking about fucking look. Speak of the devil, look at that.
Oh yeah,
Halo. We're talking about Halo on the TV screen there.
Tell me, I guess you got more to tell me about the Halo PC that's coming out.
I mean,
anything you haven't said already?
It's just like the thought of like Halo custom games, like how much you could already change in the game. Like you could make your own map. Like you can have a blank slate of any map in the game. Like this is good. So am I doing good at like describing this for you? Like is this all new?
It's all new to me. Like,
okay, well that's awesome because like I'm gonna kind of like imagine myself as like in your spot right now, like not hearing shit about Halo.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make it sound
well,
great.
okay. Like I mean, so far I've seen like the Halo Netflix thing. There was like a movie. There's a movie that you recommended.
It was the Fall of Reach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the story, Halo's story, is really 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 good, but the game itself is so much better. Like so much better. Like on a community level, like on the Xbox 360, right? See, like, one thing about console that's better than PC is that there's a bit more aspect of community. It's easier to make friends on console. Like I have friends that I've been friends with for 12 years, that I met on Halo, right? And we all three actually got together for the first time last year. But we've been friends for like 12 years. We met on Halo. And like ever since then, we've like barely made any new friends since we started playing on PC. Like it's just us, us three rolling together. We made a couple here and there, but like on console, there was like groups of friends and like drama between friends type shit, right? Anyways, back to Halo. So like you could have a blank slate of any map you wanted, and then build whatever you wanted. Like literally have like parts. Like you could build a base or a castle or whatever the fuck you wanted, right? But then you could edit the game modes to like drastically change things. Like there's like an infected game mode with like there's one zombie starting out. It's like sharks and minnows. Have you ever played that in a pool or something like that? Like you could like whenever you kill someone, they become part of the infected team.
Yeah,
right. Basically tag.
Yeah, tag.
Yeah. So, you get tagged, you gotta help find the people that are hiding.
Yep. Okay. And but like you could change things a lot. But then imagining that on the Steam Workshop where people can import their own assets that you can download for free is just fucking nuts. Like, the game's gonna be great, I think. I just hope it takes off competitively, man.
That just leads me back to what I was saying, that I think shooters are done for their competitiveness. Like, the generations of, who's gonna do it? Because it's like the youth are the main ones driving like tournaments.
Well, there's tons of little kids on Counter-Strike. There's millions. It's annoying how many little kids there are on Counter-Strike. Because they either are fucking hackers or they're retarded. Like they're really good, and they are annoying. Like even though like I end up winning, beating their team, right? But because I'm just better than them, I have more sense than them. It's just annoying to hear them and like they infuriate me, and they're like actually good on some level, and then that makes me even more mad because they're so obnoxious in chat and in the game.
Right.
Like, it's just crazy, but like there's a lot of like younger people on shooters. I mean, look at PUBG and Apex too. So but Apex doesn't have any competitive aspects, but like hold on.
In the meantime, Alex, you want to tell me about anything you've been creating? I know you got a story. You want to let the people know about the story you've been working on?
Yeah, I have the story. For right now, it's called Man Almighty: The Next Evolution, and it's gone through like many stages. At first, it was a story about like the scientist who was on a quest for redemption. Like there was this like whole thing with him chasing after people, and these people were like dinosaur people that get transformed into dinosaurs from another dimension. It was kind of a
Where'd you start with
wacky
this?
story.
Like where to start off?
I mean that's the starting point. That's not the current stages of the story.
Wait. So,
Okay.
hold on. Okay, just continue with it.
Continue where you left
it's-
off. That's the
it was-
beginning.
Well, like main point, it was like it started from like a wacky kind of crazy story with the scientists and whatever, and then it went from that, and I added like more like historical aspects and like empires and trade and all that, and then it went from the third phase, and now it's like just like a martial arts epics, martial arts epic, and it has like science and it still has empire stuff in there too, like empires, trade, and all that.
So when you say empires, like would you base it off of? Like you base it off ancient civilizations?
Yeah, like ancient empires, like
China, Egypt,
Mayans, Aztecs.
So are you creating a fantasy world?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you read?
Well, actually, it's fantasy, but like it's an Earth, but it's a different version of Earth, and
yeah. But have you read Mistborn?
Mistborn.
Yeah.
Mistborn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone recommended me that book a while back, but I never read it.
Dude, you
Like
love it.
the guy told me the guy that recommended me that book. He said that in that book it features people that like consume metal, and each metal has like a different power, right? Am I right?
Yeah. It's really nuts. It's super. It's like imagine Avatar: Last Airbender mixed with Harry Potter.
Right? What?
Like there's a massive evil force in the world, right? Bigger than the Fire Nation, like bigger than the Fire Nation could ever be, right? And like he kind of like Voldemort, because Voldemort was in terms of like
Nazis.
Yeah, more like more like no. See, it's more like a god king that has ruled for 1,000 years and has oppressed millions and millions of people and has created the earth, and he's unkillable, and people are trying to revolt against him because life sucks and they want to make it better, right? But he's a god, like literally a god, like literally.
Okay.
So, but it's just this deep fantasy world, and the powers are crazy cool. They're all based off of metals like tin, iron, steel, gold, stuff like that, right? I can't remember all the metals right now, but some of the metal, like for instance, they have really unique powers. Like steel and iron allow you to push and pull on metals, right? So like if I was burning steel, I would push the microphone against the wall. If I was burning iron, I would pull it back to me. It's like telekinesis. It doesn't require any hand movement, so it's like an unspoken spell in Harry Potter.
Okay.
So, but so they're doing like all these unspoken spells, but only certain people have like one, most people only have like one of the abilities. But other abilities allow you to like enhance yourself somehow. Like tin allows you to enhance your senses, right? So the lights will be brighter, you'll hear better, right? But it's not really like things get louder or you can hear better. You're just able
to focus in on.
You're able to focus in on the smoke.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's not what you think.
Okay.
Not what you initially think.
Okay.
But when you burn pewter, which is a alloy of tin, because every metal has a base metal and then an alloy that has an opposite ability. So when you burn pewter, your physical gets better, right? So you're stronger. Your bone, you don't break as easily. Your wounds that would be mortal, like a mortal wound to someone that is not an allomancer, is what it's called. Allomancy is what the
name of this book is Mistborn.
Mistborn by Brian.
Just Mist and Born.
I gotta read it.
Yeah,
there's like a subtitle to it, but just the Mistborn.
Yeah, I definitely got to pick that up. That sounds like
it's by Brian Sanderson.
Brian Sanderson.
Yeah.
Let me get that.
But so the magic, as you would call it, is called allomancy.
Okay.
And the allomancers usually only have one of those abilities. But like anyway, so pewter makes you stronger, right? Then there's things. I forget what metal it is. Damn it. Anyways, there's a metal. Yes, copper and zinc. So copper allows you to push on someone's emotions. Right.
And so, like, if someone is angry,
it is not mind control.
Not mind control.
It's like suggestion.
If someone's angry, you can make them more angry.
So suggestion.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Yeah, like
so it's like it's like the power of suggestion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's like people can tell when it's happening to them only if they're trained to like know that.
So it'll work on like the common people.
Well, it technically works on everyone if you're good enough. That's the key.
Okay, this is that's a really interesting story.
Yeah. So copper allows
Definitely
you to push on someone's emotions, and zinc allows you to pull on someone, depress someone's emotions. So it's called rioting and soothing. So rioters are people who burn copper, and there's like slang terms for all these people, right? So rioters are called are people who burn copper, and they riot your emotions. Soothers burn zinc, and they soothe your emotions. So if you're angry, they make you less angry. If you're calm, they make you feel even more calm because they're depressing that, right? Okay. So, but if you're really, really strong, you can calm and destroy someone's emotions to such an extent that it can paralyze them with depression. In a sense, so that's basically what depression is. You know, it's a suppression of your emotion.
Yeah.
Right. So like, but you know that if you're good enough, and then there's like shit. There's one metal that allows you to see, like, it puts a line straight from the center of your body to sources of metal around you. Like, there's a blue line. It's like, even if you're in complete darkness, if you burn that metal, you can see where the metal is. And those guys are called seekers, I think.
Okay.
And then there's smokers, seekers and smokers. Smokers burn a different metal, can't remember what it is, that blocks the use of so seekers can detect allomancy, right, in a vicinity. Okay. Like, they can feel it, like literally feel someone using allomancy, and they can tell what they're burning based on what the feeling is like, right? So like they can tell a rioter versus a soother when they're using their allomancy. You can be invisible if you don't use it. Like, it's like crouching in Halo, pretty much. Like, just to go back to Halo, but it's like you can just not burn your allomancy, and you won't be detected. But if you're burning it, someone that is a seeker can literally feel what you're burning from a distance, right? And if they're really really good, they can detect you from way far away.
All right, so
yeah,
for everyone listening to the story, that book is called Mistborn by Brian Sanderson. But we're gonna segue from that into kind of what I wanted to discuss today. Have you ever heard of the like 2 lives quote by Confucius?
No.
Ooh. All right. Basically, it goes: every man has 2 lives, and the second one starts when he realizes he only has one. And once you become aware, it was like how I explained it was like once you become aware of like your actions and your mortality and like the bigger scale of the world,
right?
You realize that you only have just that one life, and it's not just you weren't just living.
That's why it's good to have that idea in the first place. Make the best of it.
Right.
I don't know, because I'm kind of like an adventurous person, so whenever I see an opportunity to do something that's out of the ordinary, because I do things that are out of the ordinary, not gonna lie, but I just take the opportunity, right? It's like when we went out of town to Arkansas, like, and we saw a spring coming out of a cave, and like there was like a little coming outside of a mountain. I climbed up that shit. I don't give a fuck if there's a sign that says entrance to spring prohibited. Like, that shit's cool. Like, going up there and like I climbed on a shelf and went in like and saw like part of the spring that very few other people were able to see, like bats and shit hanging from the ceiling. It was cool, but I don't know. Like, it's kind of having the wrong idea that. I don't know, I always imagine that I have one life, make the best of it. But I also believe in a higher power too, but that's a little bit different than what you're doing around.
Well, for a lot of people, how you said like you've always believed in like there's only one life, live it. A lot of people kind of live in their parents' shadows. Yeah. Their parents kind of told them what to do and what to think, so they're kind of just stuck with that.
Yeah, like they're stuck in like this one pattern, and this one pattern is like, I guess, the way to live life.
Yeah,
in their eyes.
That's why, like, the easiest and I guess you could say hardest thing to do is like realizing like your conditioning, like what's been done to you, and like really realizing what you're hardwired for. Like, everybody's gonna be good at something. Everybody's gonna have an affinity for something. But we like to think I like to assume that people aren't just fucking losers. And if they are, it's probably because of things. If we want to go through a psychology look at it.
we're just another animal in this great big world, like you said on Facebook.
Yeah.
I mean, for real. That's kind of how I see it, but people do get caught up in their shit too much a little bit.
See, cause like what you just said, people get caught up in their shit, like with like what people put on Facebook and then what they just exhibit. Like, would you do that if nobody was watching and if there was no one to respond from what you were doing? Would you still do that? So when you think about that and apply that to like the stuff you do in life, like what does that tell you?
Yeah, I don't know. Like for me, like I go hiking, but like I don't record my hikes.
Exactly.
I don't post my hikes on fucking live.
You don't go on Facebook and just be like, "I went for a beautiful hike today."
Yeah. Like me and Dylan, like we do some country ass redneck shit. Like go out on a fucking lake at 2 a.m. on inflatable kayaks and fucking and stab a fish in its sleep. Like just random shit, right? And like so, but we don't record that.
It's gruesome,
and like post. I mean, like,
spearfishing.
I would have to describe. Well, it's like it was really a frog gig. It's not a fish gig, spear at all. I mean, the fish was in like a foot of water and it was literally asleep. But anyways, like we don't record that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I don't know, but people do get.
Do you eat the fish?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Okay. See, it's spearfishing.
No, we're having a fucking fish fry. Like that's what we're all about. Like I mean, I love fried fish. Like fried catfish.
Like that's like one of my favorite things to eat. Fried fish.
I ain't too partial to it, but it is fire.
I made some bomb ass fried cat, like straight from the lake, filleted myself, fucking battered myself, fried catfish, and it's so dope. It tastes so good.
I think the best like fried fish I had was catfish, and then I think maybe snapper. I'm not too like educated on my fish, but
snapper is really good.
I'm not like super huge on fishing. Like I don't know like all the different types of fish. My buddy Dylan will be able to tell you everything about it. But, like,
Dylan to come in here and instantly just be like, well, there's a difference between.
No, you know, in 9th grade he like we had a class like assignment to like write what we learned for our birthdays, and this motherfucker wrote fishing. On what he wanted. Like, he didn't say fishing gear. He didn't say fishing lures. He just said fishing. Yeah. And I was like, fuck, dude. Why do you do this? But yeah, like I don't know. Just fried fish is super dope. But, I can't believe how do we get to fried fish?
It was just a going off topic.
Yeah.
But back to like would you do stuff if nobody was watching? Like. And then on top of that, like people get on social media and they're just constantly like lusting over what other people fucking have, but not knowing like what they had to do to get that.
Right.
See, I'm not really like an active social media user. Like I lurk Reddit like a motherfucker. I might comment every now and then, but I just use Reddit just to, like look at it. You know what I'm saying? Just look at
just
all those. Like I'm subscribed to like over 100 subreddits. But like I just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and reading and reading and reading and scrolling and reading some more and refreshing and then doing all that over and over again every day. Like it's just kind of how I use Reddit. So it's like I don't really understand the social media shit. I just don't.
Yeah, like I know people that would be on Facebook like all day and wouldn't sleep until like 3 a.m. because they're on the phone and the blue light on the phone is keeping them up. And
like young people and old people.
Right.
It's nuts.
Right.
Like there's fucking 12-year-old on Facebook 8 hours a day, and then my grandma is on fucking Facebook 8 hours. How the what?
See, that's the problem. It's just a strict lack of like balance.
There's not that much content on Facebook.
Right.
See, that leads back to we were watching the podcast earlier. It was obviously the Joe Rogan show. Not plugging Joe Rogan, but amazing show.
I haven't really watched it, honestly.
Like, okay,
awesome show.
It's good because of the guests. Like the guests are the ones that give you a better impression because there's a lot of different people from a lot of different backgrounds. But a guy he had on recently was talking about like everything you're like reading. He was like, because a lot of people they'll proudly say like, oh yeah, I'm always scrolling on my phone looking at different information and seeing different feed and stuff. But it's just like what he compared it to. It's kind of just like junk food. He's like they're kind of junk thoughts, junk articles, like stuff you're just gonna read. That's literally just something somebody put up for. Is stating something that's already been stated in another article, or that's already been stated in common or public knowledge.
Yeah, right.
And you're just taking that in, and he was like, that doesn't do anything for you. That's not a stimulating thought just because you read it off something. He's like, then you have that combined with people's like own feeds and then like whatever they like to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, like I don't really use the like social media like that. I don't really read a lot of news articles though. I listen to like one political podcast, but I do listen to news podcasts, but it's like NPR news. So it's like, I don't know. There's really no spin on it, not from what I can detect. I mean, they kind of like have comments about Trump. Not really comments about Trump. They're like, "Oh, Trump at it again."
Yeah.
It's like, who's not like that?
Trump
like,
at it. Yeah, it is. Like, I saw the thing what he said about like the what were they called? Like the Park 5?
The
Central
Park 5.
From the fucking Netflix shit.
Yeah.
Like when they see us.
That's super good.
Real
great.
Good.
Yeah,
really
great.
Yeah.
Really eye opening. But like real life, like when asked about it, Trump like dead ass replied. He was like, they admitted to their guilt. I'm just like, you called for them to be murdered when they were children, and then they were proven innocent. Like, what? Why can't you just be like, it was an unfortunate circumstance? Like, what do you have to lose from it?
They were found guilty. Not did they declare? Did they say they did it?
Basically, it was none of their. Basically, like the way it went is the police coerced them. They kept them for 72 hours without like their parents, without bathroom, without food. Basically, like it was a certain method. Like I think they called it like the Murphy method for like interrogation, and they just did it to these black kids because they were there. When like once again the whole time like the main point about that movie is that even in the end, like if the guy that was the rapist hadn't have actually had a conscience and come forward and did the right thing, they would have all still been in jail.
Yeah, they would have died in jail.
That all of them, they'd still be in jail, possibly died in jail because that stigma would have still been on them, or they would have had to admit to something they didn't do and been sent out into society as felons and sex offenders.
Yeah,
there was no way out for them. They got saved.
Yeah,
like that dude.
It's shit.
And then Trump still just same thing.
It's shitty how
it's like they were like just kids, like 14, 15, 16-year-old kids, and they had like things they wanted to do in life, and
they were younger than that.
No, there was one 14-year-old, one 15-year-old.
Like one was 16.
No, yeah, the only one that was 16 was Corey, and that's why he got sent to like maximum security prison right off the bat, and that's why he instantly was just getting beat.
Yeah, so fucked up.
And then like all those prisons and stuff in New York too, they're basically just like death camps. Like Rikers Island is just death camps.
It's fucking nuts how a rapist had more of a moral conscience than the justice system in that situation. Like literally, like
even when they showed them, they were just like, "There's nothing." The lady clearly was just like, "I don't know what you want from me." They admitted to it.
It's like that lady just really wanted to like peg them down for the rape, even though they didn't do it.
When the guy had committed all the other rapes that they were trying to find people for.
See in the movie, that it shows her as like, I don't know. I'm sure she was inherently fucking racist. That's just kind of like a given for me at least.
If she could do that to children,
she was also obsessed
with the rape thing.
Well, she was obsessed with finding someone.
Yeah, because you can't just let a rapist go around the city.
She was so upset about her daughter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Wait, was her daughter the victim of like a sexual crime?
I think that was her daughter.
Wait,
was that?
I don't know. Like, it seemed like it was. Like what? Like
she did have. I don't know.
I think she was.
I never did like actually catch what her actual like motivation. Yeah. I thought her motivation would have been like racism, but I guess they didn't have the kids at first. But when they brought up the suspects of the kids, she instantly hammered down on them.
Yeah. See, how many episodes did it have?
4.
Yeah. See, I watched the first and then like half of the second so far. Mm-hmm. And like it's been fantastic what I've seen so far. But in the first episode, it seems like she's somehow related, or is I don't know. In some manner has like some close attachment and it becomes like obsessed with solving this. And I think that like, at least in the movie, I don't know how IRL happened, you know what I'm saying? But in the movie, like it kind of, I don't know. She was inherently racist, one, but 2, she just became obsessed and like her brain was just like fucked. Other than like until she got someone for that.
She wasn't gonna be able to stop.
Yeah. And then at that time,
she was hell bent on it.
Yeah, like at that time, they didn't really like. see, I think that since the police didn't get the real guy off the bat, they had so much pressure from these rich people that they had to find somebody.
Yeah.
Like they or at least they didn't have to, but like at least they felt that they had to. And then on top of that, from the that was like the general idea for the whole department. I feel like that was established in the first episode.
Yeah.
But then after that, coupled with that is this lady who is just fucking has so much power over these fucking men in this police department, right? And then she's so rich and so obsessed with finding someone, right? And then when she's denied, like, the real guy, then they have to find someone. You know what I'm saying? And then they had to cover up they had to do cover-ups and shit like that.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like, you know, I feel like it was, like, one, racism, but two, like, just complete panic and breakdown of the police department as like an institution and as a workplace. Yeah, in my opinion,
that was definitely a failure
like
on the police department.
Brain broke. Like, imagine what was going on with the fucking rookie detective in the police department.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, this rich lady's brain was like fried from finding the answer, and then this dude who's not getting paid shit probably for rookie detective is like working full force to do this, and then like the police department's like attorneys like having to deal with this. So I mean, I feel like it was really deep in terms of like the shitstorm that just happened, and it's all this fucking rapist's fault. Like, literally, like, it was such a horrible like wrong place, the wrong fucking time for everybody. Yeah. And then these fucking kids had to suffer for it, and then they were denied their appeals and shit.
Denied everything.
Which is super fucked. Because, like, at that point, like, I don't know. That shows the racism, though, because they weren't, like, willing to, like, work with them and, like, hear their side. And, like,
it was just, they needed something.
Yeah, they had to find somebody because they didn't have
like,
a guy.
That leads me to something else. Like, if you notice, like, you said you weren't on social media a lot, but just in, like, the times we live in now, like, long-form conversations, like what we're doing now, right? Which is why I wanted to do the podcast. Long-form conversations are damn near dead. Like, you cannot get past, like, the first intro barrier of shit when you talk to people.
Because you're only given 140 characters. Then fuck. Because we established in 2008 that we didn't give a fuck about what you had to say unless it was a too long didn't read.
True.
Yeah, you gotta have a TLDR. I'm not reading your fucking shit.
That is very true. Nobody wants to read, like,
paragraphs.
They just want to see a picture. They literally want to see a picture and a fucking headline.
Yeah. Or maybe like a quote at the bottom that sounds cool. You know,
you put up a picture, you will get more likes. It's science. I use meme science to get my likes, folks. Now you know. Just look at the ones with the most likes, and they always have a fire caption.
Likes.
There's always a fire caption, and it's always an original meme. But like the problem, I think the problem is like people have all this. I guess you could say bad ideas, and a lot of times today, there's like a complete lack of like nuance in people just talking. Yeah. Like, there's no subtlety to it. There's no like, people are just kind of blatant. I guess you could say. What do I mean by blatant? I guess like they use certain language knowing it's gonna like trigger people.
Knowing that it's going.
Knowing it's going to trigger people.
Dude, it's because now trolls are given like
voices,
free reign.
Yeah, right.
That like it's so easy because I mean trolls have like always known how to like get attention, right? But now these websites like Facebook and Twitter are so huge and so sweeping, and so many old people get their fucking news from it that a troll.
Oh my god.
No, but a troll has unlimited access to these fucking people. And it's like, this isn't like Ken M on Yahoo Answers, like the last 1,000 fucking people on Yahoo Answers, right? Like Ken M fucking trolling them.
Yeah,
it's like people just trolling and then taking, normal people are going to take it super seriously. They don't know what the fuck trolling is. Because they haven't been here. They haven't been around this shit for a long time. They haven't grown.
That's the main thing I see is like, I'll just be on the internet and I'll see a post and I'm just like, oh, this seems like a good old internet post from like the early... Let's see. It's like this would be a 2012 meme. Like that's exactly what it feels like. But then I'll check the comments and it's just people just being like, "How could you say something so horrible?" And I'm like, "This is an incredibly old meme." I'm I'm like, we were reacting to this as like 8th graders, and no one cared. And now that like media, I guess because technology and social media is just booming more than ever, people are seeing this old meme and they're just like, how terrible. And I'm just like, you were looking for something to be offended by.
Yeah.
I was like, it's already been on the internet. It's not new. Like, I don't even know all the controversy behind like the Pepe the Frog meme, man. Apparently, like Pepe the Frog was a hate. Yeah, it was like a hate speech symbol.
It wasn't at first though. It wasn't at first.
Yeah,
Pepe the Frog was a meme. I remember Pepe the Frog. I don't know what happened.
But like eventually, it was used to like promote like racism or used
so
with Nazis or whatever.
See that,
and it stuck there.
It's because the trolls picked it up.
Yeah.
No, seriously, like, well, the trolls picked it up. See, this is my theory. Like, from what all I've heard about the Pepe shit, and all I've heard about it is an explanation of it on a podcast called Reply All. It's a podcast about the internet. Anyway, so, like, they explained it, and everything that I could gather was that the Pepe Frog meme was used from a troll to, like, make, like, an edgy, like, Nazi meme. But it was, like, 6th grade shit. Like, 6th grade humor type shit. Like fucking just stupid shit, right? And then, like, it actually became a thing within the neo-Nazi community. It's like it's like the Charlie Chaplin mustache. You know what the Charlie Chaplin mustache is?
Yeah.
A Hitler mustache.
Oh, okay.
And so they're just instantly gonna be like Hitler mustache.
Yeah, but it's a Charlie Chaplin mustache because Charlie Chaplin existed before Hitler, and he was famous before Hitler was, right? So but it's the Hitler stash now because Hitler ruined it, like the swastika, like.
Yeah,
he ruined the symbol.
They corrupted it. That was a peaceful symbol.
Like at first it was a Buddhist symbol, and then I think like other people used it also. Like
it's a shape.
Yeah,
it's literally a fucking shape.
Right.
So it's like, imagine if the triangle suddenly became a symbol of hate, or like not David's star, but the fucking 6-pointed star. Imagine a 6-pointed star being considered a symbol of like actual hate, which some people think it is, but whatever.
See,
it's kind of.
Well, just like I feel like when it comes to like thing of trolls, it's always just like in some way that the individual is like tortured in life,
or just
like whether they're emotionally detached. There's.
But
it's not just bored.
You haven't trolled somebody.
I haven't just blatantly. I haven't done it since I was young, cause like. Trolling is basically just like...
Well, like, I don't understand the hate trolling. Like, they making, like, a Nazi meme about Pepe. Like, that's kind of, like, too young of humor for me. But, I mean, like, I could see some drunk dumbass making something like that.
I don't troll. I verbally box people over social media. If I comment on something, I'm going to reply with, like, about a good... It's actually not going to be a paragraph, because I split my comments up, so you have to read them.
Yeah. See, like, I'm the same way, though. But... I do like playing a good gag on people, you know what I'm saying? And trolling...
Don't get me wrong, like, if I'm specifically in, like, a meme group, like, there's a group called Smash Hill where they're always doing, like, Smash memes. And occasionally there will be one unfortunate soul that'll try and ask a general question. He's just like, how do I stop getting, like, hit by this move? And I just honestly went in there and told him, I was like, yeah, man, you just gotta, because in Smash there's DI. So DI is how you, like, it's directional influence. So if they throw you up, let's say you DI down. If they're trying to hit you up, you're going to DI, like, down and away from them so you won't get hit.
Yeah.
So I told him specifically for that character's combo because it was the character I play. I was like, oh, yeah, man, you want to DI up and away. That's how you don't get hit by Donkey Kong's up there. And he was just like, oh, thanks, man. And then people, like 40 people just laughed at my comment. And I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure this is trolling. But it was in a Smash group. I don't know if he genuinely took my advice, because if he did, he got bodied by every Donkey Kong player. Like, up and away literally means he was killing himself. Like, he was just like, well, I'm going to jump into the blast zone. He just kill himself.
That's right.
I don't know. Playing jokes like that on people, yeah, I kind of understand what you're saying. Like, trolling just, like, to...
Like, what's...
I don't know.
It's like the technique trolling, like in a fighting game where you might be like, your friend's just like, bro, how do I not, what's going on? And you're just like, oh, man, you just got to block that. And they're just like, all right, they're blocking. And you're just like, you grab them. And you're just like, well, now that you grabbed, now that you blocked, of course I'm going to grab you, man. Keep up.
Yeah.
I think you did that to me.
We're not going to talk about that.
See, I think that it depends on, like, the innocence level of the troll. Like, if you're just...
True.
If you're, like, literally... making someone believe something false and inciting like a hateful emotion in them, what's one thing? Like, well, it's different. Like if they are like, I'm gonna fucking kill like saying that they're pissed at you, you know, that's one thing. But like making them pissed at like a group of people or like something that's like totally outrageous, like a conspiracy theory, like mad at their government is one thing.
Yeah,
you know like the Dallas shooter.
Dinosaurs aren't real.
Well, I'll refer to this guy as the worst active shooter ever, but the Dallas shooter, he was someone that was like obviously like a victim of trolling, like a victim of trolling.
Wait, why?
Because I mean, he was just like in the whole alt-right bullshit. He wanted to start like a boogaloo against the government, fucking like revolution party or whatever, like type shit. Like he was just fucking stupid, you know. And he just bought a bunch of shit from Walmart, looked like a fucking dumbass, and shot on some federal agents and got killed in a parking lot. So it's like, I don't know. He was a victim of that. So it's like, depends on how innocent your trolling is. Like if you're just trying to just be a jokester and be a fucking joker to somebody, that's one thing. But like making someone fucking hate for no reason.
Lack of communication is the root of most issues. Like, if you're a good-natured troll, like, if it goes too far, you usually just be like, oh, I'm just fucking trolling. Or somebody will state that you're trolling, and then you just stop trolling.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That's usually how it goes.
Yeah, or until it, like, there's a very clear line when it comes to trolling. Like, even if other people are saying that you're trolling, like, you can still continue it if it's innocent enough. But, like, I don't know, continuing a lie, building it up, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of bad, but...
Yeah, it's more like harassment, right?
Yeah, like when you're fucking with people like relentlessly, that's harassment. And I think that like you can harass somebody into feeling you can obviously harass somebody into feeling a certain way. So it's like these trolls
just
are, like
press people's buttons.
Yeah,
I noticed like there's like this. I don't know if you because once again you don't follow like I guess social media, but like in our local like DeSoto County. There's this one dude. I ain't gonna throw his name out there because I ain't gonna get this man witch hunted. But
say his name and then just edit it out.
Nah. Okay, but basically, my man's like I've just been watching him on post. My man's basically like it's a really smart way of being like subtly racist and a troll at the same time. Because what he'll do is he'll say something that's like. Not overtly racist, but obviously triggers people.
I know someone like this. We might be thinking of the same person.
And he's just like, why do black people have to do this? And then obviously somebody's going to get triggered by that because that's a pretty general statement.
Yeah.
And he's just going to be like, well, from what I see, y'all all act the same way. And then they're going to get mad and they're going to call him some name. And then that's all he needs. He's going to use that as his justification to start just throwing out racial microaggressions and just... saying the N-word and just being like, you're over here calling me this and this and this and saying you'll kill me for just what I say, so why can't I call you this? Like, he literally pressed their button so he could get them to the point. And, like, one day I decided to test it. And he commented, like, he told this one girl, he said, like, he blocked this one chick because she was gay. And I was just like, so I commented under there. And I was like, my man is really getting a kick out of just being hateful. Then I commented a question. And I was just like, why? I was like, what do you get out of this? 5 hours went by. Now, the chick that he said that he called gay responded those 5 hours later and was like, yeah, I just don't even need to deal with him and his redneck white boy shit. And then he instantly replied, like a minute later, just going in on her, calling her all types of stuff. And I'm just like, this man's really just dodged me.
Yeah, like completely,
And I was like, that's when you're a dangerous troll. Like when you're committed to just leaving for 5 hours and then coming back to the post just to raise hell. Like something's wrong with your life, bro.
Well, see, I refer to those people as fucking pussies. Like I'm a hard
bitches.
Like they're fucking pussies.
Agree.
Well, they're pussies. Yeah. Like they would not talk any of that shit in public.
No.
And I'm like, I'm not like a Chuck Norris motherfucker, right? I'm not fucking like Jet Li or some shit. Like I'm not Macho Man Randy Savage. But I mean, like, I will fucking drag you to the ground if you're fucking that stupid to fuck with me in public. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because people who like fuck with other people in public really are just idiots or they're drunk most of the time.
Right.
And like you see the results of that, like going on World Star. Like you see people getting fucking knocked the fuck out for acting a fool. Like I mean, look at 6ix9ine at the fucking airport. Like he got into a fight outside the airport, and like he was talking about
rip 6ix9ine.
Yeah, right. Like, but like I watched that fight video. He like literally got fucking thrown on the fucking ground. Like, he got up pretty quick. But I mean, like, bitch, you didn't. What the fuck?
You couldn't do anything.
Yeah,
you just got manhandled.
Yeah, right.
You don't have the strength not to get manhandled, man. You don't need to talk shit.
Yeah. And, like, but people like that are just, they're fucking pussies, and that's why they just keep all their shit to Facebook and don't talk shit in bars and shit. They're, like, off in the corner drinking their fucking margarita and leaving, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not.
See, but like what I think it is from like I honestly feel like some trolls really just be like sitting back at the computer and like somebody will respond and just be like, how could you say these things? That's so heinous. Why are you doing this? And they're just sitting there like a fucking Mountain Dew just being like, fucking nerds. Like something is wrong with that person, bro.
Yeah.
Like somebody did that to them in their life and now they feel the need to just go out and spread that over the internet behind closed doors where they can't catch them. Catch a lot of stuff.
I mean, I guess like some people don't have hobbies; they just don't have anything else to do than just be a troll.
Yeah,
you know?
but they're not good at anything. They're pussies. You know, that's just how I feel. I mean, I might be like
all I can say is
blunt,
I say that's pretty fair. Plus, the internet's just gonna keep evolving, man. Like,
it's still like this crazy animal.
Yeah. So either I know they did say one thing like as like more and more data and footage and audio and like just overall information gets uploaded, basically they can just configure speech patterns from what people have said and it can make it sound like you're having an actual conversation with said person. So like in who knows what time in the near future, like it'll just be like, oh yeah, somebody has this conversation with Joe Rogan. Alright, Joe Rogan did not say any of this. This is a computer generated like Joe Rogan clip. And it sounds just like him. Like they're already out. Like there's just clips of him just saying stuff from where people have just teased it.
Right.
And he's just like, that shit is wild.
Official channels are, I mean, it's just people are we're eventually gonna evolve, and the next generation of fucking internet users or someone eventually is not gonna take any fucking bullshit, and like, it's just, we're gonna get better at that, I think. But here's something to think about though, like just food for thought, that one of the creators of the internet actually said that the internet is a better conveyor of negative ideas than it is positive ideas.
And it's all, that's definitely a true statement.
So true. But I think that might change later. I think it is, because like people are like we're getting woke to that now, and you know, we're still dealing with the redneck stupid bullshit where people can't respond to a logical argument over a 5-hour course, and then someone responds with the bait that they want, and they just catch the fucking fish. You know what I'm saying? These people are like fishermen. They got the line out and the bait. They're just sitting the bait out, and then someone snaps on that shit, and like they just reel that shit in and have fun with it.
I have like 20 images of that are like. Have you seen the bait meme? There's just like a fish and it's just like looking at a hook and it's like, yep, that's bait. Like I have like 15 different images of just that in different ways. Like it's like anime and it's just like it's like Ash, but his face is a fish and he's just like gotta bait them all. So when I see like people obviously trolling, I just go to that gallery and I'm just like, let me see how many of these I can get away with.
Yeah, like it's crazy how the internet really is like a better conveyor of negative and positive.
Yeah. But with that food for thought, folks, we're gonna let you go and we're gonna call this episode. I want to thank Alex for speaking.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
That's very head ass of you. And thank you, Christian. I'm pretty sure the viewers probably really enjoyed this episode. I don't know. It was probably terrible.
I mean, I enjoyed this episode, to be honest. I think it's pretty good.
It was a good conversation.
Yeah.
And that's it.